It's just a baby.
It came! Alright, so we have our first project of the van! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh my god.
I have the ideas for the money shot. Money shot. Okay, so this is what comes in the package. We have a little bit of bolts here. Yes, that'll help. Some bolts everything in. But from the video that we watched, and it'll be linked in the description below, it seems pretty self-explanatory. I think it's gonna go on. I think it's gonna go on just like this. This is the back. This is the front. Pull this, and it allows you to swivel. All we have to do is take off a couple of bolts and put it on, so it should be pretty easy. So let's get over to it. Alright, so it is extremely dirty. We need to clean it out before we do any kind of projects with it. We got our swivel seat ordered, so we're hopefully going to be installing that. And we got a lot of work to do before we can even start doing that. So let's jump into this before we even get to that. Okay, so it's been a couple days now. I last talked to you guys on Mother's Day. It is now Tuesday. So we have our swivel seat right here, and we have already ran into our first problem. It is very difficult to move. If I sit down and move this by myself, it really doesn't want to move. So that is our first problem that we need to get solved before we go and taking it off our seat and putting it back on. Because it really doesn't, okay. I got it a little bit. That's how much we need it, at least, so that way it can move, or so we can put it on the seat, and it looks like we're getting it, but... Okay, so our solution to that guy not moving really well is to straight up put it on and deal with it later. Right now, we have to go in, and if you see this lug bolt right here, is what we need to take off. There's another one. There is another one over there on that side. So both of those need to come off. They're in the front. And then in the back here. And then in the back, once you move the seat forward a little bit, you have two more exposed lug bolts on both sides. And both of those need to come off. So those are on the back once you move the seat up. We have 4 lug bolts that need to be taken off. And I'll see you guys as soon as it's taken off. Okay, so we currently... What? Did you just pour water on our dog?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have all of those bolts taken off, and just to clarify, because someone didn't know, the seat is currently not attached to the base, okay? We have one more bolt. It is underneath. I'm going to try to show you right now. Right there. This lug, that nug right there has got to be taken out. And it'll disattach this guy. It is underneath the seat. If you just look under, pretty easy to find. Next up, take off that bolt.
It's disconnected.
It's disconnected. Alright, so One thing the video did say to do is to keep the seat belt here intact. So that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna get this seat lifted up and set it right behind it on the ground right here. And then we're gonna put the swivel part on and put it all back together. And guess what? We got a desk, baby. Woo! Let's do it. It is off the bolts. Hardest part's done. Now we need to put this guy on top of that base and then put it all back together.
Okay, so he does want to take this off.
What are you taking off, babe?
This little carpet thing.
The carpet piece that was in there. Okay.
It attaches through holes here and just take them off. There's clips. Pretty gross.
Next step, put that bitch on. Let's get to it.
You gotta make sure it's lined up with the holes where you took the screws out initially to take the seat off. Alright, I'm gonna need the screw bag. We're gonna screw these bolts here, and the Allen wrench you need is a 3/16. Fits perfectly. You're gonna screw them into where you screwed in or unscrewed the bolts before.
And these bolts came with the swivel seat. So the links will be in the description for everything. We have the video that we used, and we have the SCOPEMA seat that we used here off of eBay. Everything that we used we'll put in the description so you guys can get to. Okay, so it seems like our seat is not lining up, and in the video in the description it says we're gonna need a hydraulic jack to spread it apart a little bit, so we're gonna get that right now. After long hours of hard blood, sweat, and tears, baby, it is time.
This is a happy face.
The moment of truth to see if it works. Do we swivel? Do we swivel? Do we swivel?
No.
Okay, so it does work. We just tried it. It is very hard. So the one we saw on YouTube, it moved very easily, very smoothly, very swiftly. Ours does the opposite. So if I move this lever, I'm probably gonna have to get out to show you, but move the lever, notice it does move, and then we'll have to move it up. It would help if I moved the jack.
It's stuck on a thing.
I think after a couple times doing it, it's gonna get a pathway kind of built out for itself. It's gonna kind of deal itself out. I'm hoping so. If not, then we'll be back in a couple days trying to put something back in there to fix it up. Coming back to the swivel seat, I've noticed something. I have these guys on the front, both front sides. There, okay. So I'm gonna try to just file them down a little bit because I've noticed they keep clipping on the bottom of here. So I just got to file, and I'm just gonna try to shrink them down just a little bit so that fit better underneath here. I think that'll help us move a little bit. Okay, so filing is taking a really long time. I don't know what it is. I hope you don't need it because I'm just gonna cut them off. Okay, so we got one of them completely sawed off and it fits, and we are ready to move on to the second one. I've kind of already started, but yeah, we're gonna start taking that one off now. And then after that, we already put some lube on it. It should be working a lot better. Okay, so we got that sawed off, as you see. It is now sawed off, but we ran into another issue. If we started swiveling the seat here, it would hit onto that just a little bit. You can see the bolt kind of hitting it right there. So I sawed this down a little bit and it gives us a lot better. It kind of clips a little bit. There's another one of those on this side as well. So we went ahead and filed it down. We got this on both sides filed down and this guy on both sides filed down. So both of these guys were kind of interrupting the swivel seat. So we just needed them a little bit shorter than what they were. And there we go. When filing these down, you want to make sure you get all of that metal shaving inside of there because you don't want nothing to start rusting on you. So we did finally get the swivel seat on, fully converted. It is all done, but at the price of a few cuts. So I would suggest if you guys do this on yourself, maybe wear some gloves. But with that, I think that wraps up our very first van life project. With one of the most basic necessities down, a desk chair, we are very much so looking forward to the rest of the projects coming along here in van life. So behind this chair here, the reason we're not doing a swivel seat on the driver's seat, we're going to do our kitchen counter on this side. We're going to have a little table that is on a hinge that folds out that kind of forms a little desk here. So that way, when this guy is all turned around, much easier now, huh? Once it's all turned around, we'll have a little table that folds up right here and uses as a little desk chair for us to use. We are looking forward to doing all the projects here in van life. It is very exciting, but with that, if you guys could like and subscribe, it would mean a lot. Also hit that bell because we have no schedule here on the channel. We're just doing videos as I get money. So definitely hit that, and if you want to, you can follow my social medias. I'll definitely post on there the day before and probably the day of I'm posting. So that way if you don't want to miss a single video, all of it will be posted on there so you get a heads up. But thank you guys so much for watching.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.